Hello and welcome back to Social Studies with Mrs. Bledsoe. Today we are looking at the hemispheres. And on your paper, if you take your highlighter, down in the first section on what are the four hemispheres, we're going to learn what a hemisphere is. You can only see half of the globe at a time. So I'm highlighting down here. You can see only half of the globe from any one direction. A word for half a globe or sphere is hemisphere. So when you look at the globe, you can only see half of it. That's the hemisphere that you're looking at. There are four hemispheres: the northern, the southern, the western, and the eastern hemisphere. We're going to look at the northern hemisphere first. Take a look over here. You're going to see this is my globe, and I'm looking at the globe, and I can see here's my purple equator. If I cut the globe in half, I am going to have two halves. I'm going to have the top half and the bottom half. The top is the northern hemisphere. The continents that are in the northern hemisphere, and if you look at your own paper, you can see those a little clearer, are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, and just a little bit of South America. If I go back to my drawing here and I look at the purple equator, as I said before, I'm cutting the globe in half. There's the top half, the northern half, and the bottom southern half. This is the southern hemisphere. And in the southern hemisphere, there are the continents, parts of Asia, Australia, Antarctica, parts of Africa, and South America. And you can see those clearly on your page. So that's if I cut the globe along the equator. You can also cut the globe from top to bottom. So like the equator would go this way. You can also cut the globe from north to south, top to bottom, vertically. And if I do that, that's going to cut it into two halves. I'm going to have the east side over here, and I'm going to have my west side. Okay, and I'm going to actually highlight Western Hemisphere and Eastern Hemisphere. Let's look at the Western Hemisphere first. The Western Hemisphere is where we live. We live in North America. We are about right there, the A in America. The Western Hemisphere is North America, South America, top bunk, bottom bunk, and part of Antarctica. Okay. If I look at the Eastern Hemisphere, I'm going to see Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, and Antarctica. So when we look at our quiz for Thursday, I'm going to have a globe and I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to have you tell me if there's the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, the western hemisphere, the eastern hemisphere. Let's turn to a quick video.
Hemispheres. The half of the Earth between the equator at 0 degrees latitude and the North Pole at 90 degrees north latitude is called the Northern Hemisphere. Most of the land and people on the Earth are in the Northern Hemisphere. Winter in the Northern Hemisphere is usually between December and February, and summer is between June and August. The half of the Earth between 0 degrees latitude and 90 degrees south latitude is called the Southern Hemisphere. There's less land in the Southern Hemisphere, so this hemisphere is less populated than the Northern Hemisphere. Seasons in the Southern Hemisphere are opposite of the seasons in the Northern Hemisphere. Winter in the Southern Hemisphere is usually between June and August, and summer is between December and February.
Okay, So that's a little bit more information about the hemispheres. At the end of today's lesson, we'll go over that one more time. With the time that you have left, please turn your page over and you are going to see Continents and Oceans Review. You're also going to see a compass rose at the bottom. Take some time and you may color in the 7 continents on your globe. See ya!
Hemispheres.